सुबह अज़ल ये मुझसे कहा जिब्राईल ने, जो अक्ल का गुलाम हो वह दिल न कर कबूल। मोहम्मद इकबाल साहब का ये शेर है। Hello everyone. Today in our What's in a Painting series, we are gonna talk about William Blake's masterpiece, The Ancient of Days, dated back to 1794. But before we delve into this painting, let's look back at last month's news, which will help us to understand Blake's artworks more clearly. In December, on the eve of New Year, gig worker association across India went on a strike. In their statement, they said gig workers were being pushed to breaking point by unsafe work models, declining incomes, and a total absence of social protection. One of their key demands was the immediate rollback of the 10-minute delivery model, which they argued endangered both economic and physical safety. In response, Zomato's CEO, Deepinder Goyal, posted on X defending the 10-minute delivery system. What struck me was not just what he defended, but how he defended it, through numbers, averages, and efficiency metrics driven by cold reason. It immediately reminded me of William Blake's painting titled Ancient of Days, where he mocks the Urizen, the man of reason from Blake's mythology. William Blake, a British poet and painter, was one of the loudest voices against Europe's Enlightenment. Majority of thinkers in Europe's history were either in favor of faith or rationality, but Blake attacked both. He argued the overemphasis on reason and rationality given by Bacon, Newton, and Locke limited man's perceptions merely to his five senses, separating him from the infinite. Through poetry and painting, he sought to reclaim imagination and vision as essential modes of knowing, which was eclipsed by rationality. His Ancient of Days is straight attack on rationality, dogma, and fear. As you can see here, the main character of this painting is trying to measure the boundless infinite universe through compass, which is emerging out of his fingers. It symbolizes mechanization. His body is losing the humanity and becoming a heartless and soulless machine that measures everything. His mind is so much fixated on a measuring device, trying to measure the world which is full of darkness, and he is ignoring the light and warmth of the universe which he is surrounded by. And it appears that he is almost descending into the darkness. An Upanishadic quote rightly captures this moment. Andham tamah pravishyanti ye avidyam upasate tato bhuya yuvate tamo yau vidyam rataha. They who worship ignorance enter into darkness. They who worship knowledge enter into greater darkness. Another thing to notice in this artwork is hunched figure, which is very common in most of William Blake's artworks. It symbolizes the man bent by dogmatic rationality, enforcing repression and fear. The stupidity with which the main character of Blake's artwork is acting echoes in the stupidity of Deepinder Goyal, who is trying to bind the real human experience in numbers. This stupidity is not laughable, it is dangerous, with its roots in epistemology of Europe's Enlightenment, where knowledge becomes source of power. Adorno and Horkheimer articulate this danger clearly in Dialectic of Enlightenment, writing that modern knowledge aims not at understanding or wisdom, but at method, exploitation, and productivity. Technology, they argue, becomes the essence of such knowledge. This is precisely the Goyal's defense reflects. His reliance on numbers and efficiency metrics echoes a logic deeply rooted in Enlightenment epistemology, where abstract data is privileged over lived human experience. Here, efficiency becomes the measure of legitimacy, and statistics neutralize the ethical questions around labor, risk, and bodily limits. The issue is not merely the misuse of data, but the kind of knowledge allowed to decide what is acceptable. The issue is not the way entrepreneurs like Deepinder Goyal are thinking, but the way they have been trained to think. And hence, the questions like by whom and how the knowledge is produced, claimed, and used, and whose purpose this knowledge serves become pertinent questions. It is important to understand that artists like William Blake are not attacking the knowledge itself, but they are questioning the way knowledge is acquired and dangerous consequences of narrow modes of knowing. Thank you.